Hey friends! Oh, wait. Where's everybody?
John, I'm over here!
And me!
Oh, what's happening? Why are you two over there?
We're in parallel galaxies, you get it? While those two wrap their heads around what's happening, hello friends! Our newest patch is all about exploring and celebrating parallel galaxies.
Not everybody plays at the same intensity and commitment, so this patch will be all about find your own path to stardom, however that may look.
And gaze up this patch because everything will have you reaching for higher things. New champs, new ways to progress, game modes, and so much more. Welcome to patch 6.1, Ascending Stars.
We first gave thematic patches a go back in 5.1, Beyond Ruination, and have made tweaks to it ever since. We talked about focusing more on gameplay and innovation compared to the depth of our lore. Ascending Stars is a continuation of that effort. We're gonna find ways and celebrate players from all corners of the galaxy.
This patch will shine under the light of the Due Nova. And to make sure the season themes sweep you off your feet right from the start, you'll be taken to another galaxy the second you get into the lobby. A new common entrance for your progression journey will have you discovering new corners of the Rift universe. But it's not just pretty lights and shiny stars. Throughout the patch, Due Nova themed events will have you reaching higher and let you choose Starshine.
This patch is all about optimizing ranks for our skill and mastery focused players and creating a new progression path that rewards the more creative and fun-oriented ones amongst you. So whether you want to power your way to the top or prefer to let those creative juices flow, there will be a path for you to trailblaze.
Patch 6.1 stands in the light of the challengers and adventure stars that are gonna guide your journey through the Rift. And we see all of you, whether it's the hardcore Rift devotee fighting for every rung up that rank ladder, as well as the players who only got a sliver of gaming time, but who still want that fun, excitement, and awesome rewards. The challengers and adventure stars stand for that parallel path across the Rift, all fun, exciting, and shining their very own light.
The Challenger Star is here to lead all your ranked and legendary queue things out there. With two separate modes with their own seasons and objectives, we realize that it's been hard to progress on both journeys. So in patch 6.1, we are joining their paths. Your champion score will now reflect your dedication and efforts across each mode. We are polishing up those steps, making it easier to get season skin and many other rewards. To those early climbers, we've prepared some extra surprises. Legendary Queue is also getting a little galactic makeover with new tier names, art, and events. Be sure to check in with the game and future communications to not miss any new features.
If all of that sounds a bit too intense and consuming, well, don't fret. The Adventure Stars got you covered. Halfway through the patch, we will be introducing a brand new progression system for all of our adventure modes. Our house modes like ARAM, Unbound Frenzy, and many, many more. So no matter which one you choose to play, you're gonna contribute to the rise of your adventure star. Instead of isolated rewards, you're now gonna have a single track to earn rewards and show off achievements in a dedicated showcase. So show off your creativity, your quirky ideas, and the awesome plays from your adventures.
Speaking of bright stars, of course this patch will also boast of all the fun and exciting events you're used to, in theme with our galactic patch and other happenings.
Leading the charge for Adventure Star Journey will be ARAM! No wait, ARAM. No. ARAM. The additional A's stand for more arguments, more awesomeness, and more adventures with friends. Well, it does for me anyway. The updated design and the galactic vibe to our beloved game mode aren't the only thing that will carry you to other dimensions. We're adding some new story arguments that will shake things up a bit. But there will be only one for you per game, so make sure you choose your star wisely. ARAM wouldn't be the only game mode getting some cosmic updates. Look to the game and our other communication to find out more on our stellar movements.
Working on this patch and the cosmic theme had us thinking a lot about our beginnings and feeling quite nostalgic. And we wanted you to feel the same way while playing. which is why we decided to bring some good old League classics back to the Rift. Starting us off is probably the most adept Archmage of all Runeterra, the Arcane Wielder himself, the Rune Mage, Ryze. One of the OG launch champions of League of Legends, he has been a crowd favorite since the start, and is not just because of his sparkly purpleness. Ryze will join our ranks as the headlining battle mage with major strategic opportunities with his Realm Warp. And while I could be here standing and go on and on and on about how awesome the portals are, I'm sure you'd rather hear from someone who has actually mastered them. Let's hear it from the 10-time LCK champion, 5 times world champion, and 2 times world's MVP, Faker.
안녕하세요. 페이커입니다. 오늘 정말 반가운 소식을 전해드리려고 하는데요. 라이즈가 와이드 리프트에 등장합니다. 저에게 정말 특별한 챔피언인데요. 제가 게임을 처음 시작했을 때부터 플레이했던 챔피언이고 무엇보다 라이즈 덕분에 제 커리어에서 중요한 경기들에서 승리를 거둔 적도 있죠. 기억하시죠? 라이즈는 게임 운영에 강점이 크고 카이팅과 포지셔닝이 특히 효과적이어서 예전부터 정말 좋아했던 챔피언입니다. 단순히 제 플레이 스타일과 잘 맞는 것뿐만 아니라 라이즈는 라이즈 공식 뮤직비디오에서 저를 상징하는 챔피언으로 등장하기도 했죠. 그만큼 저와 라이즈는 정말 특별한 인연이 있다고 생각합니다. 그래서 이번에 와이드 리프트에서도 라이즈를 만날 수 있다는 소식을 듣고 정말 반가웠습니다. 이제 라이즈에 대해서 좀 더 자세히 이야기해볼까요? 라이즈는 주로 미드에서 활약하는 챔피언이지만 바론 라인에서도 플레이할 수 있습니다. 특히 궁극기 공간 왜곡을 활용하면 팀과 함께 움직이며 게임을 유리하게 운영할 수 있어서 교전에서 중요한 역할을 합니다. 이게 바로 제가 라이즈를 좋아하는 이유죠. 라이즈를 마스터하고 싶다면 미니맵을 자주 보고 로밍 타이밍을 연습하는 게 중요한데요. 처음 플레이하는 분이라면 기본 콤보부터 시작해보세요. 주문전이 룬 감옥으로 상대를 묶고 과부하로 피해를 넣는 콤보를 익히는 것부터 시작하면 됩니다. 그리고 타이밍을 잘 맞추면 도끼를 잘 활용해서 팀을 이끌고 완벽한 순간에 적을 압박하는 플레이를 할 수 있습니다. 라이즈는 제대로 활용하면 게임을 지배할 수 있는 챔피언입니다. 그럼 와이드 리프트에서 만나요.
Wow, thanks Faker. Spell Sling is Ryze's specialty, and if you let him scale up, well, his AoE abilities can tear apart the very fabric of reality. For those of you who are familiar with Ryze on PC, note that Realm Warp will cause the cooldowns on Ryze's basic abilities to refresh. It will also buff allies' movement speed after teleporting. Stay tuned to our future comms to learn more about Spell Sling and maybe even see a certain world champion make another appearance. Whoa, what's happening? What's going on, folks? Why is it so dark?
Afraid of the dark.
Yes, very afraid, very afraid. Can we have the lights back? Oh gosh. Our next edition is from a completely different dimension that consists of straight up terror and fear. Nocturne, the eternal nightmare, will haunt your enemies from the jungle. And with paranoia that literally instills nightmares by enveloping them in darkness. Pop up from across the map to terrorize your enemies while supporting your allies. Our last new champion of the patch does not mind waiting. And why would he, when he can bend time to his own will? Zilean the Chrono Keeper might be on an eternal hunt for the secret that will restore his home Ikathia. But he's always gonna have time to help out his teammates. And with his ability to warp time, he can slow enemies and their attacks to buy even more time. And additionally, he can even turn back time to undo damage done. Zilean can basically bring allies back from the dead. And those who knew Zilean back from League of Legends might notice that he's got tweaked time for himself. And he's joining the Rift after going through a total makeover, including adding damage to his kit to boost up his combat skills.
Speaking of nostalgic champs, we obviously couldn't leave out the might of the Demacia. Garen has been with us from the very beginning, and we've seen you sweep through Baron Lane in some truly epic moments. But that armor was looking a bit loose, so we went ahead, tightened some screws, and sharpened the brass sword. Now Garen's second ability, Courage, looks a bit different when casting and grants him growing stats of damage reduction. His third ability, Judgment, will deal even more damage going forth and reduce your enemy's armor. So go forth, take the mighty Captain for a spin, and push those enemy lines back. Unlike the Demacian, Mbessa is still hot out of the fortress. As you're still exploring what damage she can cause on the Rift, so are we. This patch, we want to shift some of her strength as a jungler to the top lane. So we are tweaking some of her stats, cutting her damage to monsters, and increasing lifesteal and displacement immunity in some of her abilities. We hope these changes will help you be the strong leading commander you've come to love in Arcane when soloing in Barren Lane. And as always, we'll have some smaller quality of life updates for Diana, Fiora, Jax, Sona, and Callista. This should make playing them even more fun. The stars are aligning for the Bundle Rift as well. With some gameplay updates and a new art, we'll give you the quirkiest Rift experience ever. As you've all gotten to experience, our Bundle-inspired Rift is full of surprises, and we are bringing you even more this patch. During the laning phase, expect special portals to appear on the Rift and toss out enchanted gifts. Picking them up grants an active ability which can be used to trigger effects. We hope these portals will bring you some fun and surprises and joy while you're laning. Bundles are all about friendship and fun, so don't fret, there's plenty of gifts to go around for both teams. Last patch, our supports were the shining star, and now it's time for the mages to dazzle us. Mages have been strapped for choices when it comes to items, making it hard for them to stand their ground in the early game, which is why we're putting some polish on their boots. Boots of Mana and Ionian Boots of Lucidity get more power to help with your mage's early wave cleaning ability and efficiency. Additionally, we also have a few new items coming to the shop to give you even more of a magical boost. The new Hextech GLP 800 is here to make that magic carry just that bit further. Its exploding frost bombs dealing magic damage and slowing your enemies will help you freeze foes in your path and push those lanes out even faster. Bundle Fantasy will turn your mages into damage-dealing powerhouses, passively adding bonus damage to active attacks. And it only gets better. The more enemies you hit, the wider the effects are. Lastly, Malignance will help your ult truly hit your enemies where it hurts. If you damage an opponent with this item equipped, you will light a fire under them, causing magic damage and reducing their magic resist. With these new stars on the item horizon, we can't wait to see how you will dominate your next battles. With patch 6.1, we are rising into season 17 of Ranked, along with a new opportunity to collect champion scores and ascend into the Dual Nova. There will of course be a skin reward waiting for you at the end, and Janna this time. And with a new season of Wild Passes, we have a little surprise in the form of a new skin line waiting for you. Wander Town Twisted Fate and Battlecast Nasus will stun you as this season's reward.
I realized that I put the team in a bit of puppy bind last patch, so this time around, I will stay safe. But reaching for some stars wouldn't hurt anybody, right?
You know what? Even though we're not in the same material realm, it still feels like we're together in spirit. It's like we're hopping between realms.
You are making it so magical. We hope you enjoyed our Galactical patch update.
We can't wait to rise to the start with you this patch and see you shine.
Thanks for watching, and see you out there.